All right, guys, we made it to Des Moines and shut it down here for the night. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's talk pay. So, I'm going to try to keep this short, and we're not going to go into super detail, but I'm going to be fairly specific. The pay is good. I make 75% of the line haul, and I make 100% of the fuel surcharge and the actual fuel surcharge. What is it? Upper 30, like 38, 39%. I'm not sure exactly what it is right now, but whatever the nationwide fuel surcharge is, that's what I make. And then 100% of TARP pay, as well as 100% of detention time if that happens. Now, flatbed typically doesn't happen. I've only gained detention in the past year, only one time. So let's get some numbers out there. Like I said before, the first quarter was a very bad quarter. And I still averaged all miles to the truck $1.67 per mile. Now wait, don't turn it off. Since then, as of the last load that I just ran, I am now averaging $1.98 all miles. That includes my deadhead, and that includes quarter number 1. So you can tell that quarter number 2 and quarter number 3 are going to be excellent. Now, typically, flatbed rates fall off starting December. You can actually start to see the decline. They will get worse in October. They will make a surge in November, but that is pretty much, that's holidays. And a lot of guys do UPS and FedEx accounts, and that's not just a Mercer thing. I can't even tell you how many companies do that. So there is a surge, then there's another drop off, then there's another surge right before Christmas, and then it just goes dead around Christmas time, and even like about a week into January. January is going to be a very slow month. February is a slow month. Then it starts to ramp back up come March. Now, what Mercer offers, they have a UPS and a FedEx account. Last year, I believe I made $1.98 all miles. Now, let's break that down a little bit more. When I say all miles, if I take a load from Walton, Kentucky up to Chicago, and they don't have a load for me to come back, I'll either grab an empty trailer and deadhead back, still getting paid, or better yet, if they don't have a trailer, I bobtail back and still get paid. So the UPS is really solid. It's also zero deadhead, and all of the loads are less than 20,000 pounds. So when you factor all of that in, that is going to be better than what you can run out over the road, running flatbed or really just running anything. Those numbers are amazing. You're getting amazing fuel economy. There's zero deadhead, and you're getting paid literal all mileage. So it's a no-brainer. Don't know what the pay is going to be this year. Those packages should be coming up soon. So hopefully we can grab a good one, and we're going to run with that. But the cents per mile, getting it up, from quarter 1 to what it is now, I'm extremely impressed. The rates were phenomenal this summer, as they were for everyone. It got to the point where if it wasn't $2.50 a mile, I wasn't touching it, and that's crazy. What I try to do with my truck is I try to make $1,000 a day, and I try to, including my deadhead, make sure that I can get the load done in one day if it's a one-day load. And typically I'm going to run one-day loads because they pay more. The longer the run, the less the pay. And that's across the board. I mean, no matter what you run, that's how that's going to work. So I try to stick to shorter mileage and do one-day hops. Now, yeah, it's a lot of work. You got to hustle. You're unsecuring a load and then you're resecuring a load every single day. And then come Friday, I try to grab a load that runs me both Friday and Saturday. That way I can shut down Saturday sometime and get a 34, get my hours back, and then start the week fresh. This week, I didn't put the mileage together, but I know I'm at least 3,400 miles this week. That's all miles. That includes my deadhead, and I'm gonna make 7,000. That's gross, so that's before fuel. But I certainly can't complain with that. I mean, I'm leased on to someone, and I'm making that kind of money. Are you kidding me? On average over the summer, it was about 6,600, and that's right on point with what I try to do. And I actually took it. I mean, there were some weeks that I ran really hard. I did my best week was 8,200. That's not crazy numbers. I didn't, not 12,000, not 10, 15,000. You're going to hear that from some guys. And it's totally possible. That's just not how I run my truck. I run my truck to be very consistent across the board, and that way I kind of know what I'm making. Versus some people try to wait and book those super hot loads. But the problem is if you do that, it is going to catch up with you, and there's going to be a time where you're going to be sitting for a day or two. Well, my truck doesn't sit, it moves. So being able to do that, I've been able to do that consistently with Mercer. Like I said, I've had 2 bad weeks other than the first quarter. That was learning curve, is what it is. But since then, I've only had 2 bad weeks out here. And unfortunately, they were back to back, but 2 bad weeks. That's it. That's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. Year to date right now, I'm sitting at 167,000. I'm on pace to do about 220. I mean, that's not crazy numbers. However, that was very consistent. I was home, and even though I'm in a bad freight area, I was home at worst every 3 weeks. And the majority of the time I was home about 4 days. So a lot of times, I mean, I took a week. There were, you know what? I'm gonna add up all of my off time, and I'm gonna put that together for you guys, and I'm gonna let you know exactly. But yeah. So anyway, this video is considerably longer than I wanted it to be, but I wanted to get it out there for you guys. I wanted to let you know exactly what it is that we're getting paid. There are super benefits as well. My fuel discount, it's humorous actually. I mean, I've had 64, man, it's either 64 or 66 cents was the biggest fuel discount that I had at one time, but it averages somewhere in the mid 40s. So on average, I pay in the mid 40s below what the cash price is at the pump. Now, that's not all states, but across all states, that's a pretty solid average. So the fuel discount is amazing. That's another huge bonus. That adds big time to your bottom line. So if you've stuck around this long, guys, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Seeing how long both of these segments are, I'm pretty sure I'm going to break these up into 2 videos. So I do apologize that you guys had to watch 2 different videos to get to this point, but this was the good stuff, and I wanted to make sure that I did cover it a little bit more than what one video could cover. So leave those comments, guys. I will get back to you. I don't know how specific I can be, but I will do my best. And until then, stay driven.